I like kitchens with custom cabinets, beautiful countertop, high-end finishes, exquisite carpentry, you name it. And I don't want to speak for you, but I would venture to guess that you do as well. It's fun looking for photos, looking for inspiration, dissecting the spaces, and really teasing out ideas that can really push our own projects forward. Actually, you know what? Slight tangent here. I want to just talk about inspiration for a second. Not all inspiration is good inspiration. Be realistic when you are looking for inspiration for your own projects. For example, if you've got a small kitchen and you are looking at photos and magazines and articles about these massive, expensive kitchen renovations, don't necessarily assume that you can just get all of that in your small space, because oftentimes a lot of what they're including simply won't fit in your particular square footage. The same goes for budget. If you've got X amount of dollars, whatever your budget is, if it's on the low end, the middle end, or the high end, do a little bit of research about what that amount of money or what that budget can get you. Be realistic and attainable. Set attainable goals and attainable inspiration for your particular project. The same goes with RTA cabinets, which is kind of the topic of today's video. If you're working with RTA cabinets, don't necessarily assume that you can get all of those beautiful high-end custom touches that you see with custom cabinets. So tangent over, be realistic about your inspiration sources, and just know that not all inspiration is necessarily good inspiration. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today I want to talk about how you can get that custom higher end looking kitchen using cabinets from, say, IKEA. The first way, I love to take standard cabinets, again like IKEA, let's just use IKEA as our sort of example here, and elevate them is by using custom aftermarket doors and end panels. Now, I have a video series going on right now where I am doing just that in my particular kitchen. So back when we renovated, my wife and I used what was available at IKEA. You know, I don't remember the exact reason, whether we didn't think we could afford aftermarket or whether we just didn't want to allocate our budget in that direction. And well, I've never really loved the aesthetic of the base cabinet fronts that we ended up choosing for our particular space. Well, if future me could go back, I would have played with the budget and allocated some extra funds needed for custom doors. The easiest way to shift the aesthetic of a kitchen is by changing the cabinet color. If you opt for aftermarket doors that are not part of a manufacturing lineup, you immediately take away any notion of it being from a system like IKEA, even if all the underlying components are still from IKEA. In one of our last videos where I dissected the top 10 kitchens on Houzz, the very first kitchen I brought up used IKEA cabinets with aftermarket doors. This kitchen is beautiful, it's well laid out, and takes advantage of the small footprint. I'm also willing to bet that not many people, or maybe even no one, was able to pick out that this in fact was an IKEA kitchen. Second way to elevate your kitchen and make it look unique is through custom range hoods. Now, I often say when it comes to range hood, there's two main directions. Range hoods that become a focal point of the kitchen and really stand out, or range hoods that blend in with the surrounding cabinets. It's also important to understand that when I say blend in, I mean they don't necessarily need to look like the cabinets, they just need to blend in with the surrounding features. And when I say stand out, I'm not referring to a stainless steel range hood that just simply looks different than the surrounding cabinets. What I am referring to is a unique range hood that has been crafted to become a focal point of the space. For example, this range hood brings in gold and silver metallic finishes to stand out against the white kitchen. Along with the range, it is the kitchen's focal point. The other option, and the far more common choice, is to blend the range hood in with the surrounding kitchen space. Now, it's typically done in two ways, and that is through color and finish. Going back to that IKEA kitchen with the custom doors, the white range hood seamlessly blends in with the rest of the space, almost to a point it doesn't even exist. In modern designs, the range hood can blend in with the surrounding cabinets without even changing the elevation. Transitional kitchens can employ a sort of blend where the shape or texture may change, but the overall color scheme remains similar or identical. Common theme to all of these is that they don't look like your standard everyday stainless steel range hood. At number 3, it's all about embracing the smaller details. Now, this is something I wish every kitchen designer, fabricator, installer, pretty much anyone in the industry, DIY or homeowner, took to heart a little bit more. And it really applies to every kitchen. It's all of these small details that help pull an entire design together. Now, it's kind of hard to describe with words what these small details really are, so let's take a look at a few examples. The first is some sort of crown molding. It doesn't need to be the traditional crown molding that we all think of, although this works really well. It can be as simple as a flat finishing profile that extends the cabinets to the ceiling. This is easily achieved with paint matching or repurposing cover panels. At one of our investment properties, we included a couple of thick floating shelves off to the right of the sink. This helped balance the window spacing and kept the corner feeling more open. To tie it in with the rest of the kitchen, we added an open cabinet in the far back corner and a custom butcher block island, tying those wood tones together. Now, a quick side note, you'll notice in that last kitchen before someone comments down below that we didn't include any finishing crown or flat profiles to the ceiling, but this was done specifically at the request of those that were going to be moving into that property. Get creative with your cover panels or other materials. Even if you're using IKEA's catalog, start thinking more outside the box. In this kitchen, we wrapped the wall cabinets in a black frame to give the appearance of custom carpentry. It also adds that extra touch of black to tie in with the windows and ground the entire kitchen. For this kitchen, we framed out open cubbies as a juxtaposition to the surrounding white cabinets. Once lit, they'll look like little displays. The number of ways you can start adding these finishing touches to your kitchens are pretty well endless, and like I said, hard to describe with words. So I'm curious, if you have particular ways you've done it in your space or you have seen it done, let me know down in the comments below. Finally, play with the height, depth, and finish of your cabinets. This might be the simplest way to make a kitchen look more expensive, and it doesn't really involve any custom work. Just because a cabinet is 15 inches deep or 24 inches deep doesn't mean it needs to stay that way once installed in your kitchen. Create interest and break up a section of cabinets by playing with their depth. This creates intrigue and adds a layer of complexity to the design. The same can be said for height. Some cabinets can sit higher and be finished off closer to the ceiling while others sit lower. Or maybe you have lower ceiling heights. In that case, consider bringing some of the wall cabinets down to the countertop in one area of your kitchen. Add glass cabinet fronts to a specific area, giving the illusion of a separate space. This is one idea employed by the #1 kitchen from those photos on House, and part of the reason why I think that kitchen worked so well. What the heck, as I always do, I'm gonna add a bonus, and that's lighting. I also don't think I've talked about it in a while, and it's time to bring it up again. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, lighting seems to be one of the most overlooked aspects of design. It doesn't matter if it's kitchens or living rooms or bedrooms, it really doesn't matter. Lighting just always seems to be overlooked. When it comes to our kitchens, think about varying levels of lights, whether it's your recessed lights, pendant lighting, under cabinet lighting, in cabinet lighting, heck, it could even be in drawer lighting. All of these different layers of lights will help create complexity in the overall kitchen design. Well, that's it for me on this one. Short and sweet, just a few quick ideas on how to help elevate your kitchen. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, what are you waiting for? It's right down there, or maybe there. It's one of these corners. Give it a smack. I'd love for you guys to all join the community. Thanks a ton for watching. Until the next one, bye-bye.